Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, people on YouTube. And welcome back to William in Japan. Today you join me on the street triple and the gorgeous roads around Matsuru. Sorry for the absence, roughly around 3 to 4 weeks. I lost my cat, one of my cats. Dearly cared for, part of the family, and it took me some time to get over it. Couldn't say I already had gotten over it, but at least I feel a lot better now. And I also fell down or got sick to a cold, and my voice hasn't recovered 100% yet, but we recovered enough to head back on the motorcycle and enjoy the roads. So today we are heading back to the Tsubaki line. The Tsubaki line is one of those roads around the Hakone area where you can enjoy very nice curves, very nice twisties without too much tourists during the weekdays. Weekends, it's packed. At least during the weekdays, like today, it's not that bad. However, since my first stop, usually, at least my normal route, it's always taking the Hakone Turnpike first, then deciding turning into Hakone or heading down to Izu. Usually, if I ever take the Tsubaki line, it will be downhill. So I decided, let's change things up a bit today and head there first and climb the mountain. So before further ado, let's fast forward when we reach there. See you in a bit. Alrighty folks, we are now at the entrance of the Tsubaki line. So, the Tsubaki line connects the Oku Yugawara Onsen, which means the further Yugawara Hot Springs, to Hakone. Quite an interesting hot spring in my opinion, since it's more discreet. Not much tourists, harder to get to, but yet the hotels here are still as great. One more thing too, I just noticed that Matsuru, what I just said, the place, is actually pronounced Manazuru. I never knew those two kanji characters, when you put them together, it should be pronounced Manazuru. But anyways, I digress. We are now on the Tsubaki line. Personally, I think this road is very underappreciated. As I mentioned, there are a lot of toll roads around the area. Our favorite, the Hakone Turnpike. Others like the Hakone Skyline, the Ashinoko Skyline. Also, if you head down a bit more, you can head into the Izu Skyline. So yeah, tons of toll roads that you can pay and then you can get out of the traffic and enjoy yourself, yes. But, you know, those are all expenses. And the Tsubaki line itself is free 99. Yeah, the pavement isn't as great, but the scenery, the roads here are just as incredible. And especially, our destination today is again the Daikanyama Observatory, which is the end, or if we put it together in today's direction, the entrance of the Hakone Turnpike. So yeah, all roads lead to the top of the mountain. And you can always still enjoy Mount Fuji and Lake Ashino. Well, ko means lake, so I guess Lake Ashinoko means lake. But anyways, you can still enjoy the scenery and enjoy the food. Again, the pavement isn't as great as the toll roads, which is kind of what expected. You definitely get less traffic too. Okay, we're good. So if you are in the Kanto area, you want to enjoy the hot springs, basically Hakone is always on the list. And if you ride, I don't see that you will need any more reason to rent out a bike and enjoy yourselves on these roads that we had been exploring multiple times in the past. Speaking of not much traffic, we still ran in behind someone from Chiba. So a tourist just like us. Hopefully we can find a place to squeeze through, or they'll let us through. Or else the second half of our ride is ruined. I guess that's the bad part. Hakone Turnpike, there are multiple places where you have 2 lanes so you can overtake. Somewhere here, such a big fat yellow line in the middle means no passing. And unfortunately, this lady, I think it's a lady, is not willing to let me through over there when she had the chance. Going back to Hakone. So as you may know, we were just at the Oku Yugawara Hot Springs. Of course, there's the normal Yugawara Hot Springs. There's also the Hakone Yumoto Hot Springs. Yu means hot springs, Moto means origin, so where the hot springs were first found. The Yumoto Hot Springs and the Hakone Hot Springs right now, and also the Gora Hot Spring. So lots of choices, lots of little places where you can enjoy a traditional Japanese ryokan. Ryokan means hotel in Japanese, but is kind of takes on a very different meaning. Since ryokan, when you live, when you stay at those, is usually with tatami Japanese rooms, and comes with very nice meals for dinner. Of course, you pay for them, but you get to feast on traditional Japanese cuisine. So when you see, or at least if you can read Japanese, when you see hoteru, very straightforward, it's a hotel, it means it's a Western hotel. When you see ryokan, it means it's Japanese. So quite a bit of a difference in terms of experience that you're going to get. You know what, guys? Let's take a pause right now and see if I can get through this car in front of us. It's a bit of boring for you guys, isn't it? See you in a bit. Alrighty folks, welcome back, and we finally squeezed through. But we are also nearing the end of the great Tsubaki line, unfortunately. But still, I think we can still enjoy ourselves for the little last bit. We still have roughly 11 minutes of riding. More than adequate to spread the street triples legs a bit. So after exiting that part, at least the very small and old road on this side, the pavement definitely did get better. Foliage still a lot on the side of the road, but not much of a nuisance. Definitely not something we couldn't take care of. looks like an old fire blade. Unfortunately stuck behind cars as well. I didn't expect that much traffic on a Friday, to be frank. It's not a long weekend. We're not seeing any real reasons for tourists to be out. It's not like it's the sakura season or the maple season. It's definitely not winter where hot springs have the most tourists. So yeah, I don't know. But anywho, at least the roads are free now. Wow. Yeah, letting the street triple roar a bit from time to time really feels different. I don't know how many times I already mentioned this, but on these kind of roads is where the street triple belongs. Yes, it performs great on the track, I know. But man, these twisty roads with this capacity, 765 cc's, roughly 130 horsepower, like, it's the perfect bike for carving up these fast, free-flowing mountain passes. A leader bike here will be a bit cumbersome, I guess. But speaking of it, although it's not a leader bike, but taking the Thruxton here didn't feel that wrong. So I guess a leader bike definitely won't be that cumbersome, at least in terms of the weight. In terms of the power, of course, that's a very different story. I bet I can nail those braking points way better if I know this road, well, a bit better. But nevertheless, God, it is just incredible. Heading up the hill definitely is getting a bit chilly. I am in my mesh gear, so what, it's 14 degrees now? Definitely is getting a bit through my jacket. But we're almost there. It should be fine. Turning off my heated grips now. Don't want to keep my fingers frozen. And we have a truck. How unfortunate, guys. As we are reaching the end of our ride, we are now stuck behind a little truck again. But definitely a local this time. Nope. Will you let me through? No. Oh well. Righty folks, we're almost there anyway, so let's just keep it cool and reach there safely. definitely a very gloomy day. My hopes are not high for seeing Mount Fuji when we reach Daikanyama Observatory. But hopefully we get to see the little foothills of Mount Fuji. On the other hand, how was how is your riding season coming up? Japan definitely is already very warm now. Everybody's out. It should be the same across the northern hemisphere at least. Hope you all are enjoying your rides right now. And if you're not, you better have a very good excuse of not riding. Temperature is great, sun is out. Like, yeah, I see no reason to not ride at the moment. And here we are at Daikanyama. And the entrance, of course, to the Ernest Iwata Turnpike. And Mount Fuji is nowhere to be seen, guys, unfortunately. It is definitely a very gloomy day. Lake Ashinoko is still under us. So at least that's that, right? Okay, let's take this place. The brushes definitely grew a lot higher the last time I came. Alright. Okay, yeah, you can't see the lake at all at this position today. Very different from the last time we were here. Hopefully they'll cut down the brushes very soon. But anyways, this has been William. Thanks for joining me and the Street Triple today at the Tsubaki line. This has been William, and see you next time. Bye bye.